Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Milwaukee Mile, where tonight the TNT Shock Series will take on one of the most legendary ovals in the North American region, the United States of America. 1 mile in length, located in West Allis, Wisconsin, just outside the city of Milwaukee proper. This place has been running since the early 1900s. In fact, predates the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as a horse racing venue before it was paved and turned into the absolute gem of a racetrack that we know today. Taking a look at the weather conditions presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania, 64-degree ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. 70-degree track temperature. Absolutely perfect conditions for making power. And one of the guys doing that is Dave Sparks, currently second on the speed charts. Before we get too deep into that, though, let's recap, review, and in summation tell you about the racing from 1 week ago. Daniel Smith getting the win at Phillip Island by almost 17 seconds over Simon Fell. Wes Shire picking up the point for most positions gained, finishing 28 seconds behind your race winner. Jason Owens, Kevin Smalley completing the top 5. If we take a look at the point standings, this is the tightest battle of the lot. Wes Shire, your points leader, by 11 markers over Daniel Smith. Smith gaining 3 positions after the win last week. Kevin Smalley currently third in the points. James Watson, Mike McConville, your top 5. Shire once again doing this on the back of consistency. 7 starts, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10 finishes. Only 12 incidents over the entirety of the season. Really impressive season thus far for Wes Shire. Daniel Smith is doing it in the method of dominance on the road courses. Only 4 starts this season, but he's got 3 wins, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10 finishes. If you're not going to run them all, you better win them all if you're going to have a chance at a TNT Shock Series championship. Kevin Smalley, in his 7 weeks, he has 1 win, 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s, the same as Wes Shire. Not much of a difference there, and you can see it in the points battle as we get ready to work round number 8, already past the halfway point of the season. Pick up Jason Owens, who is your points leader, or excuse me, your practice leader, I should say. 26.710 seconds for the Riley Children's Foundation Extra Life number 87. We're picking up Jason here because this weekend is an absolutely fantastic initiative that's going on for the Riley Children's Foundation. It is game day coming up on November 6th. We will be doing a fundraising stream during our live broadcast of the Battle at the Bullring 100 Lapper at Airport Speedway. Jason will be doing some streaming as well on the Twitch side of things, and you'll get to see a lot of that content right here on the National Racing Network page as well. Want to thank everybody that's tuning in here on Twitch and YouTube. Give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from here. $19 cars on the entry list thus far. Lap times ranging from the 26.7 of Jason Owens down to a 27.3 for Matt Galida. So you're only talking about 0.6 of a second or so. Officially 0.59 seconds separating first from 19th. However, the word of the day is loose in a very, very big way. Drivers having a lot of issues keeping these cars under control. The other big one here is going to be the pit strategy. We're taking a look at numbers. Hearing drivers can go about 20 laps or so on a full tank of fuel. Now, if we factor that in with about 27-second lap times, oh man, as Jason Owens absolutely bins it. We're going to say you can go 2 because the math is easy. We'll say 2.5 laps per minute. We take that 20, divide it by 2.5. Or excuse me, 45 minutes, I should say, for the race length here. You're talking about an 18-lap stint length, and if we take a look here at some of the timing data, we can actually see a couple of drivers. Daniel Smith, let's pick him up here. He is making his way down pit road right now. Seeing about a 25-lap stint or so is what it looks like you're going to be able to do here. Now, that's obviously not a guarantee. We don't know what fuel he started with, don't know how hard the car was running, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of variables coming into play. But if you're going to be able to go, we'll say 22 to 27 laps, that really is going to make a pretty big difference in terms of how you're going to have to plan your race out here. If we get about 5 minutes of caution, that's where the window opens up to make this a one-stop race. However, if you don't get that 5 minutes of caution, then you're talking about, you know, these drivers are gonna have to make a two-stopper. Take a look here at the replay. See what happened to Alex Teeter. Watch this car on corner exit, and we'll keep it in the slow-mo for you. Got it up towards the outside wall, and that car just snaps around hard. He was already losing it at kind of the midpoint of the corner, and then big impact with the inside retaining wall. So Teeter going to pull back out onto the racetrack. Down to about the last 60 seconds or so of practice. The other one to keep in mind is we're seeing a number right about 27 seconds, 26 seconds is what you're going to lose on the pit lane. So we'll keep an eye on all the numbers and maths for you over the course of the night here, but Down to the last 15 seconds or so of practice, and then it will be time to qualify. Jason Owens, Dave Sparks, Wes Shire, Chris Kresge, J.W. Miller, your top 5. And that will be it here for the practice session. Everybody will make the quick change to get their cars ready for qualifications. And just like that, it is go time here. And open qualifying, this is a surprise. Now you're talking about who's going to get the best draft. Following along here with James Watson, you'll see the best times pop up on the screen. 5 minutes of open qualifications. Chris Kresge going to be top of the board, 27.144 seconds. Daniel Smith, 27.381. James Watson going to jump in at a 27.603. Lap time is going to be hot and heavy coming in the board now. Stephen Thompson, 27.3, 27.8 for Christian Jasper. Kevin Smalley going to get the toe off of Watson down the back straightaway. New quick time, Chris Kresge, 27.144. Nagisa Yoshikawa jumps up to second quick, 3 1,000ths off the pace. Dave Sparks up to fourth quick. James Watson going to move up to fifth. Christian Jasper jumps up to third quick at a 27.160. Nagisa Yoshikawa even faster, 27.056. Jason Owens, 27.059. Chris Kresge, 26.885 for the lap time. Wow, that was impressive. Watson jumps up to fourth quick. This is going to get wild late in this session. Couple of cars bouncing off the outside retaining wall. If this is the racing that we're going to see, this is going to be intense. Nagisa Yoshikawa up to a 26.926. Jason Owens, 26.960. Watson falls down to 6th but improves his lap time. He runs in right behind J.W. Miller. Miller pulls out a line. He wants the toe now down the back straightaway. Oh, Watson gets loose. Big hit for Kevin Smalley. Those cars will have to return to the pit area. Here's Chris Kresge in the Revolution Indy League number 777. Running all by his lonesome. Nagisa Yoshikawa going to move to the pits. Dave Sparks, new quick time, 26.841. Sparks gets loose off of turn number 2. Almost got James Watson caught up in that one. Jason Owens going to jump up to 5th quick. We'll pick up Nagisa Yoshikawa. He's on his way out of the pit lane. He'll have the draft from Alex Teeter. Looks like Wes Shire just ahead as well. Shire's on an absolute flyer. He is 4th quick. Purple sector 1. What's he do with the second half of the lap? New quick time, 26.826 for Wes Shire. Jason Owens had taken the top overall spot at a 26.839. Minute 15 left to go. Simon Fell jumps to the top of the board. Good Lord, what part of this racetrack do we watch? Shire again on a very quick lap time. He has the toe and he goes 26.648. What a lap for Wes Shire. Used every bit of Christian Jasper's rear wing to get that car up to the front of the field. J.W. Miller going to move up to 8th quick. Alex Teeter putting up a decent number here as well. Dave Sparks going to move up to second, 26.754. Sparks having to battle alongside, that may be Nagisa Yoshikawa. Christian Jasper goes personal best on the first half of the racetrack, as does Alex Teeter. Teeter moves up to 7th quick. Jasper going to hold on to 8th. Clock is expired. Time is up. My goodness. New quick time, Wes Shire, 26.648. Man, that was absolutely intense for qualifications. Wes Shire will be your pole sitter tonight. Let's bring him up for the pole winners interview. And man, Wes, I tell you what, that session was intense. If the racing is anything like what we saw in qualifying, this has the potential to be a lot of fun.
Oh, I think it's going to be pretty similar. This is going to be a really, really interesting race.
What are your thoughts? Do you make the strategy call early in this one, or do you kind of let that one hold back? What do you do there?
I think I'm going to have to play it by ear on this one. I don't think it's going to be a one-stopper unless we get a ton of caution, but you never know.
All right, Wes. Well, good luck tonight, and congratulations on picking up a big-time TNT Series pole award there.
Yeah. Hope to see you.
Oh, sorry about that, Wes. Didn't mean to cut you off totally. Here's Wes Shire on the front of the grid, and let's show you who's going to be running where here this evening. Wes Shire and Dave Sparks will occupy the front row for tonight's race. Chris Kresge and Simon Fell on row number 2. Jason Owens, Nagisa Yoshikawa on row 3. Alex Teeter, James Watson on row number 4. Christian Jasper and J.W. Miller on the 5th row. 6th row will belong to Daniel Smith and Kevin Smalley. James Curtis, Stephen Thompson on row number 7. Row 8 will have Bill Walker and Ben Carswell. Jeff Pete and Peter Donchak on row number 9. Row 10 will have Matt Galida starting all alone there at the back of the field. Everybody is on the grid, so pace car will pull away and we will get ready to go here. Only a single pace lap. Jason Owens down to the inside of the racetrack. They're not sure if Owens had an issue of some sort. That car does appear to get away cleanly. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. 45 minutes of, quite frankly, really exciting racing action coming up here for the PM18s. You don't want to miss a minute of it. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Who's your pick to win this one? And as always, race fans, the start of the TNT Shock Series is going to be all yours. Field around cleanly for lap number 1, but my goodness, we've got beating and banging at the back of the pack. 3 wide. Oh, a couple of cars big into the outside retaining wall. We'll see if that will bring out the first caution flag of the race. Ben Carswell going to be involved. Kevin Smalley missing the front wing off the number 7. take a look at the replay here. See what happened to Ben Carswell. Oh, Stephen Thompson looked like big time. Bounces it off the outside wall. Carswell going to get caught up in that one, trying to avoid the spinning race car in front of him. And unfortunately, Carswell has to take the tow back into the pit area. So at the front of the field, Wes Shire grabs the early race lead. Dave Sparks going to run in the second position. Third will belong to Nagisa Ashikawa. Fourth, Simon Fell. And fifth is James Watson. There's the first caution flag that these drivers talked about needing. Let's try to talk here to James Watson here as we work under the caution flag. And James, you're already up 3 spots. The start was a little bit chaotic, but I tell you what, man, the car must be feeling pretty good underneath you.
Yeah, there seems to be a little bit of grip on the outside line that I certainly wasn't expecting. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can use any of that newfound knowledge to my advantage. Because, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to make many moves on the inside.
This is one of those now. We've gotten the first caution flag of the race. Are you anticipating a bunch more and trying to make this a one-stopper, or do you think you kind of have to keep it as a two-stopper, at least early?
Man, I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns. This could be caution free. This could be another New Hampshire. Your guess is as good as ours at this point.
All right, bud. Well, good luck the rest of the way here tonight, and hopefully we're talking to you later.
Here's hoping.
Cars that elected to come down the pit road that time included Kevin Smalley and Stephen Thompson. Thompson still in the pit area. Ben Carswell out of the race. No backup cars available in the TNT Shock Series. Ben Carswell gets 1 lap in the books, and that will be it for his race here this evening. Working lap number 5 in this 45-minute showdown. And again, the lap count really doesn't matter in this one. It is entirely dependent on the clock as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Wes Shire has the field all the way up against the outside safer barrier, not giving up any room whatsoever. Shire quickly back on the throttle. We are underway. Shire got a good start. Top 3 going to separate themselves out. Tightest fight we're going to see right now is J.W. Miller. Even he's losing a little bit of ground here. James Curtis battling alongside Chris Kresge. Curtis down to the inside. Oh, man, big issue for Christian Jasper. He got way up against the outside retaining wall. Just back behind them, Kresge going to have to fight now with Daniel Smith. Jasper and Curtis battling side by side down the back straightaway. Curtis going to have to give up the inside lane to Daniel Smith as well. He may lose 2 spots here. Nagisa Yashikawa battling Simon Fell. We slide a little bit further up here, pick up the battle for the 3rd position. James Watson, Jason Owens also dueling, but we've got a fight for second. Second, third, and fourth all nose to tail. Dave Sparks, Nagisa Yashikawa, and Simon Fell. Yashikawa pulls it a little bit out of line. Here comes Fell down to the inside. Sparks has to give the spot up there. Not nearly as much grip as what James Watson might have been talking about. Sparks going to have to look back to the inside. Oh, trouble on the racetrack for Daniel Smith. We're going to stay right here with this fight, but Smith looks like he has to take the tow into the pit area. Also seeing trouble on the racetrack for Steven Thompson. Again, we stay green. Show you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. Keep your eye on that number 95 machine. Oh, a little bit of right side romance from Kevin Smalley. He's hard into the outside wall. That booted Smith out of the ballpark practically. Steven Thompson having an issue in turns 3 and 4. He slides high up the racetrack. Gets it pinned down to the inside again. He's out of the way. No caution flag. Dave Sparks holding on to second now. Nagisa Yoshikawa battling with Simon Fell. That's allowed Jason Owens, James Watson, and J.W. Miller to catch right back in. Fell clears Yoshikawa easily in turns 1 and 2 down to the inside. See if Nagisa going to try the big toe and draft down the back straightaway. He does. Looks down to the inside. Another great battle on the racetrack right now between Christian Jasper and James Curtis. Jasper is running that insanely high line up on the outside. We're going to go back to the battle for third. Here's Jason Owens trying to get around Yoshikawa. Owens making that inside lane work. Yoshikawa slides high on the outside of the exit at turn number 4. He's going to continue to run that high line. James Watson kind of running a hybrid cross between the two. James Watson, J.W. Miller now side by side. Miller going to be able to clear Watson easily down the backstretch. That drops James Watson back to the 7th position. We're going to slide back here, pick up this fight with James Curtis, Christian Jasper, and Chris Kresge. 9th, 10th, and 11th on the racetrack, all within about a third of a second of each other. Kevin Smalley trying to get around Jeff Pete. That little nudge from Smalley going to have big-time points implications in this one, as Daniel Smith will earn 17th place points here this evening. Curtis looking inside of Alex Teeter. That's going to drop Teeter back to the 9th position. Here comes Christian Jasper and Chris Kresge. Kresge thought about looking inside of Jasper into 3. Man, that 67 machine of Christian Jasper is not handling well right now. Working lap number 18 here as Chris Kresge gets around Christian Jasper, but Jasper going to try to come back down to the inside. We're getting close to that window for pit stops having to open up. Even assuming the caution flag laps, I'm thinking you're probably looking at about lap 30 or so. We are going to have to see the first set of pit stops. Then the question becomes who takes tires and who doesn't. Jason Owens running about a third of a second off the back wing of Dave Sparks. Nagisa Yoshikawa about the same distance behind. Man, great exit at 2 though, as Owens able to make up most of that gap. And here's the other really nasty part of the Milwaukee Mile. Pit lane is insanely difficult to get on and off of, either without wrecking the car or incurring a pit road speeding penalty. It is not the opening itself is very short, and it is narrow. Plus, you got to really get off the corner cleanly if you're going to be down to the inside. Turn 4 is trying to push you to the outside. And then at the same time, you got to be on the brakes and getting down to pit road speed limit. That will absolutely prove to be a challenge for these drivers. There's race leader Wes Shire with a almost 2-second lead over Dave Sparks, who runs in the second position. Sparks able to hold that third of a second gap over Jason Owens, allowing Nagisa Yoshikawa to close back in. You wonder now if any of these drivers are trying some fuel saving. Simon Fell just setting a fastest lap of the race at a 26.82. Pretty much in line with what everybody inside the top 10 is running. Simon's lap quicker by about 100th and a half. Yoshikawa going to have the look inside of Owens into turn number 3. Owens really able to keep that car wound up on the outside and got a nice tow from Dave Sparks through the corner. That allows Owens to pass Yoshikawa back, and Simon Fell now going to go to work there along with J.W. Miller and James Watson hanging in the back of this freight train. That was a very aggressive look by J.W. Miller on Simon Fell. Fell going to have the peak down to the inside. Yoshikawa sort of trying to slam the door off a little bit. Lap 27 up on the board now. Start to think a little bit here. Fuel saving is great, but if you get involved in an incident with somebody who's trying to get onto or off of pit lane, you almost want to be in the front, a position like where Dave Sparks or Jason Owens is right now, just to avoid the issue. But you don't want to have to be the first driver to stop, because if you make the stop under green, you are in a world of hurt. The time on pit lane is about almost identical to your actual lap times. As race leader Wes Shire just set the fastest lap of the race. James Watson getting around J.W. Miller at the entrance to turn number 3. "15 minutes in, the window is open for the 2-stop drivers. You're going to have to get to 22 and a half to try to make this a 2-stop race. I would think you probably take tires now on your pit stop. Alex Teeter and James Curtis now going to battle. Peter Donchak on his way into the pit area. So Donchak coming in after Well, maybe not. Looks like Donchak going to be out of this race. Slide back up here. Dave Sparks now has Jason Owens all over his rear wing. Nagisa Yoshikawa, Simon Fell, your top four. They've pulled out a little bit. Excuse me, Sparks, Owens, Yoshikawa, and Fell, second through fifth. They've pulled about a 1.5 second gap on James Watson. Yoshikawa having to look to the inside of Owens down the front straightaway. He'll get the pass completed. The question is Owens going to be able to cross him over? Well, he's going to just stay on the outside lane. Great drive down the straightaway. Yoshikawa again, he makes the move inside. Owens trying to cross him over. Almost makes contact off at turn number 4. Owens takes the draft down the front straightaway. He'll pick up position number 3 back on the inside. This fight has allowed Dave Sparks to pull the gap out back to about a half second. Alex Teeter, Chris Kresge battling side by side in the fight for the 8th position. J.W. Miller going to be the first car on to pit lane. And this will be either a damage repair or a pit road speeding penalty for J.W. Miller. We talked about it. You just can't have the mistake getting on and off of pit road. Miller now sitting stationary upwards of 30 seconds. This is easily the end of the race for J.W. Miller. Down and away, 42.95 seconds. Wes Shire running all by himself here. Not getting any drafting help, but the lead is 4.4 seconds. Really affords Shire the ability to get on and off a pit road at his own pace. James Watson now going to come in, maybe trying the undercut here as we hit 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Watson is down and away, 7.23 seconds. The time of the stop. There's second, third, fourth, and fifth all coming around. Owens and Yoshikawa going to continue to battle here as we work past the 20-minute mark. Still not quite there to make this on one stop. Here comes Dave Sparks into the pit area. Trouble on the racetrack for J.W. Miller. Sparks is on pit lane, as is Alex Teeter. So they only made it to the 21-minute mark. That does not get them to the halfway point. Here comes Wes Shire. Race leader Wes Shire is on pit lane. Cover the stop here for Wes Shire. He hits the marks. Car goes up on the jacks. It'll be 4 fresh Cooper tires. Full tank of racing fuel. Wes Shire down and away, 7.13 seconds. The time of the stop. Jason Owens now making his way down pit lane at the 22-minute mark. Again, just shy of halfway. James Curtis also in. Owens' car up, down, and Owens continues to be stationary. Possible pit road speeding penalty for Jason Owens. That is an absolute race killer. Nagisa Yoshikawa making his way down the pit lane. There you see Owens still sitting. Yoshikawa going to be down and away. Here comes Simon Fell. Christian Jasper also coming into the pits. Kevin Smalley stopped at lap number 3. He's going to be able to get a couple of extra laps in. Jason Owens, 47-second stop, pit road speeding penalty. Simon Fell down and away, 7.8 seconds. Christian Jasper in his box. He is down and away cleanly. Here is the effective race leader, Wes Shire, and the gap increases to 5.4 seconds. Once Kevin Smalley makes his pit stop, Wes Shire will assume the race lead. Go back 5.5 seconds. Here's Yoshikawa, Sparks, and Simon Fell about a second back of this battle. Just past the halfway point of this one. Kevin Smalley now on pit road for his stop. Sparks having to look to the inside of Yoshikawa. Nagisa slides a little bit high. Simon Fell catching quickly back in here. Tough break there for Jason Owens, Bill Walker, and J.W. Miller, all getting the pit road speeding penalties. Seeing Matt Galida having an issue. Second, third, and fourth going to be the best battle on the racetrack right now. Now the question really becomes, can anybody save enough fuel to make this a one-stopper? Some of these drivers were very, very close to making it to the end of the race on fuel. In fact, I would say don't count out Kevin Smalley. Smalley making his second stop just past the halfway point. Smalley stopping at lap number 48. Christian Jasper stopped at 46, as did Simon Fell. Nagisa Yoshikawa stopped at 45. Wes Shire, Dave Sparks, they stopped at 43 and 42, respectively. Kevin Smalley may be in the catbird seat because that guy can make fuel like his name is Scott Dixon. So we'll go back to the fight for a second between Dave Sparks and Nagisa Yoshikawa. Caution is out, yellow flag on the speedway. Well, and that changes everything in a very big way. J.W. Miller having an issue. See what happened here to the number 6. Oh, big twitch. Smacks the outside retaining wall. As we go back to the live look, Wes Shire will be the race leader. You can hear Shire shutting the car off. Let's go on board here. There you hear him turn the car back on. You wonder, does Wes Shire come into the pits? He's got to commit this time, and he does. So now the question is, who comes with them? Dave Sparks and Simon Fell do not. Nagisa Yoshikawa, James Watson are in. James Curtis stays out. Kevin Smalley also staying out. I would imagine for Simon Fell and Kevin Smalley, this is all they needed to get to the end of this race. Shire going to restart in the 6th position. The really tough break there was with Wes Shire coming down pit road. Jeff Pete is going to get the wave around, as he will be between race leader Dave Sparks Now here comes Dave Sparks, comes down pit road this time by That's kind of interesting. I would think there would be a penalty there, either for entering a closed pit or I'm pretty sure you have to pit the first time by. So the first car that's going to be guaranteed good on fuel to the end of this race is Wes Shire. He's going to restart 4th. James Watson, Alex Teeter, Chris Kresge, Dave Sparks, Nagisa Yoshikawa also going to be good on fuel to get to the end of this race. The question becomes, can Simon Fell, James Curtis, Kevin Smalley, can they make it? Simon and Kevin, they may be good to go. The problem is Wes has been so quick tonight that it may not matter much one way or the other. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car, so we're going to go back to green flag racing this time by with just a tick under 15 minutes remaining when they get back to the start-finish line. Waiting on the pace car to pull off here. The pace car has the same nasty left-hand turn to make. Restart zone is on the front straightaway. Green flag's back in the air. We are underway. 14.5 minutes to go. Wes Shire already going on the attack. Man, that almost went 3 wide with Kevin Smalley and James Curtis. Shire's got to tuck back in line. Christian Jasper having to look up to the outside. Curtis slides up the racetrack in turn 4. Simon Fell not getting away nearly as quickly as Wes Shire did on the initial start of the race. Jason Owens coming around Christian Jasper. He's got to really fight. If he can organically unlap himself, then the caution flag comes out again. You're talking an entirely different ball game here. Owens would restart 10th, 11th. Oh man, big twitch, big wiggle there for Wes Shire in turn 2. Top 5 all going to stay in line. Shire down to the inside. Kevin Smalley going to run that kind of middle groove. James Curtis up a full lane and a half off the bottom of the racetrack. They stay tucked in line, and this is allowing Jason Owens to get caught up. Shire again covers the inside move. Smalley going to have the look to the outside. Man, Jason Owens gets the great run off the corner. He's going to try to get around Kevin Smalley, and he does. That's got to be incredibly frustrating for these drivers here at the front. Jason Owens doing what he needs to do to unlap himself. And the car definitely has the pace to do it as well. Owens inside of Curtis. Now he's inside of Wes Shire. One more car to get around here. Trouble on the racetrack for Jeff Pete. He gets the car back into the pit area. Owens trying to use every bit of drafting help he can get here. He needs to get around Simon Fell before the caution comes out. Christian Jasper having to look inside of Kevin Smalley. Wes Shire comes around Owens. That's going to put Wes Shire up to second. Not what Simon Fell wants to see. If he's in a fuel save mode. Oh, and caution is out. Yellow flag on the racetrack once again. Trouble for J.W. Miller. That car having another issue. A little bit slow down the back straightaway. Oh, that car had other issues. Smacks the outside retaining wall, and J.W. Miller has to take the tow back into the pit area. And unfortunately for Jason Owens, all that work will be for naught. Unless Simon Fell and Wes Shire come down pit road. Let's see if we can sneak a quick word in here with Jason Owens under the caution flag. And Jason, you're working really hard there to get the lap back. Not sure how this is going to play out. I don't remember if we restart everybody in line or not. But, yeah, you're going to be tight here trying to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's 10 minutes or 10 laps. If it's 10 minutes, I'm hosed. It's all because of the idiot in the seat here who couldn't properly press the pit limiter on pit in. That's why I'm a lap down. Obviously, the crew chief gave me a really good car, but he got an idiot in the driver's seat. So I don't know what that says, but she's bad fast, but I don't know what we're going to do here.
Yeah, now you're in one of those deals of, I guess, kind of hope for the best here and hope not to get shuffled out. Even still, it was tough. Even getting caught up to Simon at the front. Clean air is huge.
It is, and like I was trying to work a little okey doke and almost backed up into Wes. I feel bad about that. But yeah, man, clean air is no joke. But How about Milwaukee Mile here, Chris? I think this is the first time these cars have ever run the Milwaukee Mile on a broadcast race, and it's head and shoulders better than New Hampshire.
It's putting on a show, that's for sure. And I don't know if it's more banking, less banking, weather, whatever it is. Milwaukee is definitely a place we need to get back to.
Yeah, it makes me super excited for the Indy Pro 2000 Week 11 officials broadcast on Thursday night with you guys at NRN TV. Because if this is any indication, a lot of these guys are going to be running that race. It's going to be a show.
Yes, it is. All right, buddy. Well, good luck the rest of the way here, and we'll see. We have to get you on here post-race maybe. Maybe we can do an announcement here for 2022 Season 1.
Yeah, talk about these two awesome series we have running in 2022. Jeez.
Yeah, yes.
Season 1, man. 2022, that's a crazy number. Let's talk about that after the race. I don't want to think about that right now.
Yeah, all right, buddy. Sounds good. There's Jason Owens, currently a lap down. We'll see if he gets shuffled back here. If it's 10 laps to go, he should be okay. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car, and doesn't look like Owens is making the move. Well, no, he's not making the move to the outside of the racetrack to let everybody by him, so he may have a shot to get back on the lead lap. Cars that are one or more laps down will still get a shot here. Simon Fell, once again, will be your race leader over Wes Shire, James Curtis, Kevin Smalley, and Christian Jasper, the top 5. Down to 6 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here at the Milwaukee Mile. This one is going to be a ton of fun. And what do you think, race fans? Y'all at home, you go ahead and crank it up. Field gets the lap in the books. Big time battle going on back in the pack here. Jason Owens getting shuffled out just a little bit. Kevin Smalley having to look to the inside. James Watson going to be right there as well. That's 4th and 5th, battling for position. Stacking them up just behind Christian Jasper, Alex Teeter, Nagisa Ashikawa, and Dave Sparks. Man, that battle almost went 3 wide into turn number 1. Instead, it'll be 2 by 2. Yashikawa trying to shoot the gap. Sparks got a little bit loose on corner, like the mid part of the corner. Jasper now going to have the look to the inside of Teeter. Teeter really had to back out middle of turn number 3. Here comes Simon Fell. Wes Shire battling for the race lead into 1. Shire easily going to clear Simon Fell. Maybe some fresher tires. Both cars should be good on fuel to the end here. 5 minutes remaining. Fell crosses right back under. Shire going to try the same thing. He'll take the toe down the front straightaway. Live to draft another day. Here's the dive into turn number 1. Man, we may see slide jobs out of the PM18s. Simon Fell going to fall back just a little bit now. James Curtis, Kevin Smalley going to be side by side. Smalley has to fall back in line. He's going to hold on to 4th. Curtis up 10, Smalley up 8. Smalley now going to make the move down into turn number 1. You're basically a sitting duck when you're on the outside lane, but you keep the momentum wound up, and you can either try the crossover or run the same line through 3 and 4. Curtis going to lose that spot, though, to Kevin Smalley. Smalley will hold on to third. Curtis will take the toe. Westshire's opened up the lead to about a half second. Oh, man, we've got a gaggle of race cars back here. 3 wide into turn number 3. Sparks to the inside. Teeter up the middle. Christian Jasper, Chris Kresge running the outside lane. They'll keep it 3 wide. How about we make it 4? Oh, man, Sparks and Teeter almost make contact at the entry to turn 1. Teeter able to get clear to Christian Jasper. Now Jasper going to continue to run that very high line. Sparks looks back to the inside of Teeter down the front stretch. Things are semi-quiet at the front of the field right now. So we'll hold on to the battle here as we're down to 2 minutes remaining. Sparks back to the inside of Teeter. We're to the point now where a yellow flag may end this race under caution. Wesshire holding on to that half-second lead over Simon Fell. Kevin Smalley holding a pretty decent gap here over James Curtis. There is your race leader off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Top 2 have separated themselves out nicely. We'll pick up that third, fourth battle as well. Smalley and Curtis about the same way. Jason Owens going to be right there. We are down to 60 seconds remaining. Oh, man, Curtis, big dive. Oh, huge hit for Smalley and Owens into the outside wall. Caution is out, and that will end it. Huge hit for Kevin Smalley. Good Lord. Curtis tried the dive into turn 3. They make contact. Owens spears Smalley. Man, that was a nasty, nasty hit for Kevin Smalley, and all that work getting to the front of the field is going to be for nothing, as Kevin Smalley will come home with a 13th place finish here this evening. Jason Owens will likely lose one more position here as well, as Bill Walker is still on the racetrack in the 12th position. And this will be the final lap of the race. And it's going to come under caution. Wesshire is going to pick up the win over Simon Fell and James Curtis. Nagisa Ashikawa, James Watson will complete the top 5. So field will come around this time and see the twin checkered flags at the start-finish line, and Wesshire going to pick up another Homestead Coffee fueled victory. Wes Shire gets the win over Simon Fell. James Curtis completing your podium here this evening. Show you the race results as the field works their way back around to the start-finish line. Shire gets the win over Fell and Curtis. Yashikawa and Watson complete your top 5. Dave Sparks, Alex Teeter, Christian Jasper, Chris Kresge, and Jeff Pete are the top 10. Kevin Smalley, Jason Owens, both finishing 3 laps down along with Bill Walker. J.W. Miller, Matt Galida, Peter Donchak, Daniel Smith, Stephen Thompson, and Ben Carswell will complete the field here this evening. West Shire going to burn them down on the front straightaway. Finishes making the donuts to go with the coffee, and West Shire going to head for victory lane. Well, at least his pit box anyway. Let's get ready for our victory lane interviews here this evening. And we will start things off here. Let's see. Pick up our third place finisher this evening, James Curtis. And tell you what there, James, the car was pretty sporty all night, but you had some work to do. Congratulations on not only the podium, but being the hard charger as well, gaining 10 spots this evening.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was a pretty good strategy there. I was able to make my fuel last and didn't have to take that last stop that several people did, so that really helped. I don't think I had the best setup tonight, but was able to get the most out of it.
Yeah, that sort of seemed like that was going to be the deal. Clean air was huge out front, and if you didn't have clean air, make the best of what you could.
Yeah, absolutely. Just stick with the draft, try to stay in contact with everybody in front. I don't know if I had a whole lot for Wes and Simon. They had some pretty nice sets there. Pretty nice battle there with Kevin. I kind of hate. I couldn't tell if he had some net code there or what, but feel bad for that. Kind of wish he could have finished that battle over the last few laps.
Yeah, whatever it was big. That's for sure. And but ultimately, you're going to win some of those. You're going to lose some of those. You had a pretty good night here in terms of the point standings. Entering the night 13th in points, third place is not a bad way to start making a run late in the season here.
Yeah, it's been a rough season so far. I've been having trouble getting getting points, either being a victim of some stuff or just doing some dumb things and messing up some podiums. So, yeah, nice to finally get on the podium and score a decent amount of points here.
All right, James. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. Let's get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous handled.
Well, hey, just thanks for all the viewers out there watching tonight. We really appreciate you. Hopefully we put on a good show. And come back next week. Let's see. I think where are we next week?
I have no idea, honestly. I don't remember.
Oh, it's Charlotte Roval. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
The Charlotte Roval. Yes. Yes. Going to be a show, that's for sure. All right, brother. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And looking forward to talking to you next week. We'll bring in our runner-up finisher here tonight, Simon Fell. And tell you what, Simon, that car was pretty darn spectacular, especially once you got it out front.
Yeah, it went pretty well. I was was good on new tires, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, that was one of those that when you made the pit stop at lap 46, I guess it was, uh, we had that, and then we had the caution that came out, and I went, man, I think these guys can make it. Were you tight on fuel at all without the final caution coming out, or was the I guess the last two cautions really kind of put you over that number?
Yeah, I was tight until the second to last caution, and then it was fine after that. But for the first half of the race, I just sat in the draft, saved a ton of fuel. That got me well past halfway before I had to pit.
Well, it was a very smart call for sure. So congratulations on the runner-up finish tonight, and let's get any sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of here.
Thanks. So hi to my family at home, hi to the folks at the Seattle Watch Party, and thanks to TNT and NRN.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. Here, let's bring in another race winner. He's going to double up on the night. Wes Shire gets his second win of the night and his first win of the season in the TNT Shock Series. I don't know how you were leading the points with no wins, but what was a consistent season was pretty darn dominant tonight. That car was wicked fast.
Yeah, between an absolutely phenomenal setup and just Milwaukee being one of my favorite tracks, that was thoroughly enjoyable, even driving in clean air.
Yeah, you were out to a big lead. And in fact, after the round of pit stops just before the halfway point, you managed to see the lead increase from 4 and change to over 5 seconds. Did you think we were going to see that kind of real big spat of cautions late in this one?
Not necessarily. It kind of felt like we were going to go green, given how clean the first half of the race was. If anything, I wasn't sure when that first caution came out if that helped me or hurt me. Because I knew a whole bunch of guys had just pit and were effectively good to the end with that one caution. And so I knew I had to come in, so it's just like, well, I go from a 6-second lead to 6th place deep in the field. It's like, all right, got to work for it. Hey, all worked out.
Yeah, well, and the car seemed to work very well in traffic, which was not necessarily true of everybody else. What was different about your setup? I mean, obviously you share the setup with a lot of the drivers in the league, but something tells me there's a little bit of secret sauce there too.
No, I actually just anything I share, that's pretty much exactly what I run. I don't think I changed anything from what I shared. But yeah, it's just something about Milwaukee really, really fits my driving style. I think a lot of it is how much entry speed, how late getting into the corner you can drive. Because if you really look and you see the line I was taking, I was really entering 1 and 3 lower and narrower, but I'm keeping like way on the gas until really but the tarmac stripe. That's when I'd start lifting and downshifting. So I felt like everybody else was running a lane and a half, 2 lanes up from me on entry, and whatever it is, it just fits my driving style really well and worked with the car, and yeah, it's just one of my better tracks.
Well, and we mentioned the points a little bit here, but this is, quite frankly, bigger than you probably think. Your closest finishing rival in the points tonight was James Watson in 5th. He entered the night 4th in points, 31 back of you. Daniel Smith went out early. He finished 17th. Kevin Smalley obviously having the issue late in the race. He did not have a good finish. Mike McConville was not in this one. Jason Owens had his issues. This may be the mark where, when we look back at the end of the season, that we say this was really where West started to assert some dominance.
I tell you what, I sure hope so.
What are you thinking here as we head forward to the Roval next week?
I'm hoping I survive next week. We go from a track that I love and am very good at to a track that I'm, shall we say, less than enamored with and not necessarily fast at.
Well, Good luck then. But before we let you go here, make sure we get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in, because that was definitely a coffee-fueled victory here tonight.
Oh yeah, so as always, gotta thank you for doing the broadcast. Gotta thank Jason for putting everything together, and huge thanks to Homestead Coffee. Seems like that Peru blend, or not blend, origin that I'm drinking lately, it's really improved my performance. So if you want to get fast, go get yourself some Homestead Coffee, homesteadcoffee.com. And yeah, other than that, shout out to my other self over on YouTube. Play a little Dungeons and Dragons, Tales from Rukon, Friday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right, Wes. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations once again, and that is about going to wrap things up here for tonight's night of broadcast excellence here on the National Racing Network. Wrapping up our coverage here from the Milwaukee Mile. Great night of racing, man. That shock race for the PM18s was a blast. Thank you to everybody checking in the comments. I didn't even get a chance to look at them until the post-race. Captain Picard, Big Mac, Cyclone, thank you all very much for hanging out with us here. Man, that was a ton of fun. A great night of broadcast. Coming up tomorrow night, going to be the High Side Hustle with Bert Wojcik and Adam Rubright. They're going to be talking to Logan Schuhart, driver of the Shark Racing #1 on the World of Outlaws Tour. Really an in-depth interview. Logan calling some shots and really, well, I'll say calling some people out. I'll say it that way. Not really calling shots, but yeah, really, really fun interview that we recorded tonight with Logan. Catch that one 8 p.m. tomorrow night in the East. Thursday night, the Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series heads off to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The IndyCars around the world's greatest race course. There is nothing better in the racing world. Following that up with the PM18s running their official, in fact, the first official broadcast coming up from Hickory Motor Speedway. Little bull ring oval for the PM18s, completely different from what you're going to see here tonight. But until then, for everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.